It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantha Tracks TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. Welcome to the live stream. And what else is it today? It is, of course, Happy Halloween to everybody. Well, it's tomorrow, really, but if you're a witch and a wizard and you happen to be watching the show, Happy Halloween. I'll move my camera. There we go. That's a bit better. Couple of guests on the show this week because we're doing a special show. It's the 5th anniversary of Fantha Tracks tomorrow as well. And so joining me are two of my co-conspirators from that, Mr. Mark Newbold and Mr. Matt Booker. How are you?
That's right. Yeah. Good evening.
Good. Yeah. Good evening, witches and wizards. Very cool.
Yeah. It's our niche market.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good for this time of year, though.
It is.
I came with my broomstick. It's out the front.
I know a few witches, that's for sure. 5 years almost. Can you believe it?
No. Thanks to the pandemic, it feels like less. But then we all say that because of the pandemic. That's no excuse.
Thanks.
We were busy all the way through it. So I can't believe it's 5 years. That's crazy. It can't be 5 years. It's mad.
5 years. We've got news to get through as well, though. So let's have a look at what we've got coming up on the show. First up, we're going to be talking Damon Lindelof and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy working on a new Star Wars film, apparently. Star Wars Celebration Europe 2023 is on the horizon, and the key art for that has been revealed. We'll be looking forward to the show. Lego Star Wars The Galactic Saga Galactic Edition has a new trailer and characters revealed. We'll be checking out the trailer from that. Bring Home the Galaxy Week 2 has arrived. We'll be checking out the products that Lucasfilm have revealed this week. And of course, we'll have a look back at the past 5 years of Fantha Tracks and everything that we've been up to in that time period. So guys, we'll get straight into the news, I think is the best approach, because that's what Fantha Tracks is all about. At the end of the day is the news. And first up, potential new creative team for a potential Star Wars film. A lot of potentials in there. But first time we've had some that feels like solid film news for some time. And this news came from Deadline, and then the Hollywood Reporter had their own elements to add to the story, and that it makes it feel like this is almost official.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? We've had all these false starts and things being stepped back and pulled off the schedule and this, that, and the other, and now this comes out through Deadline, which is a pretty reputable site, and there's other, I think Hollywood Reporter picked up on an element of it later on in the week. So it does feel like there's some meat on the bone. Let's hope, Disney, especially given it's 10 years tomorrow since 10 years today since the announcement, not the purchase, as you pointed out, Brian, but the announcement of Disney purchasing Lucasfilm, that the sequel trilogy era was the new area that they were going to sort of expand upon, and they did, obviously with Galaxy's Edge and Resistance and such. But beyond the sequel trilogy, which sort of finished 3 years ago, evening, Jack, It's good that they are. I think it's good that they're going to push on in this era. There's a lot of ground to cover and things to do. So let's hope. Lindelof's got a track record. Sharmeen worked on Miss Marvel, which was a great show. So it's good people involved.
Hope it works out. I hope we actually get a film actually going into production soon, because there's been a lot of false starts and a lot of things being pushed back or shelved, and I think more people have not directed a Star Wars film who are announced as one than have actually finished directing a Star Wars film, which is quite depressing.
Right.
Lindelof, of course, heavily connected with J.J. Abrams through Bad Robot, and they've worked together on a lot of projects. Star Trek, Trek Wars. We could get Trek Wars. This could be the time, guys.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be a great announcement for the 5th anniversary of Fantha Tracks.
Live long and eat cupcakes.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack suggesting a Republic film. Very potential. I think they've got to dip into different timelines. Do something completely different.
They've got the opportunity now. Now they've, like I say, we've got the sequel trilogy Disney sort of marshalled in. You've got the High Republic again, which is 18 months old now, and that's another era that's being brought through. There's the Old Republic there that Jack's talking about, a classic Republic. There's lots of opportunities, lots of options. We've got Andor in one time period. We've got Ahsoka coming up in another. You're right. Yeah, let's spread it out and get different areas covered.
The rumor is that it's supposed to be post sequel trilogy, but not necessarily including sequel trilogy characters.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a time period. It's a political landscape. It's like Andor showing us, isn't it? That's a political landscape you can explore and do something with. And the post First Order galaxy after finally gone. Let's assume he's somehow returns again. And McDiarmid work is prior to that we see him doing stuff. That'd be interesting. It'd be great. And I'm sure there will be certain characters that crop up. They'd be silly not to use some characters, and certain actors and circumstances. But yeah, I think it's a good time to do a story.
Yeah. Next up in the news, Star Wars Celebration 2023 is on the horizon. And, of course, it comes against the backdrop of the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So we get a Return of the Jedi-themed key art, which was kind of nice. It's kind of linking the skyline of London against the Death Star.
It's very nice, but it's very similar to a piece of fan art that was done on a T-shirt about 2 or 3 years ago. So, yeah. It's nice. It's got a lot of London skyline on it. It's going to be good. And it's not far away, is it, lads?
It's not far away.
8th of April?
No.
Is that 8th of April? Rings a bell.
Yeah.
6th to the 9th or 7th to the 10th or something like that. Okay. Should know that. It's very nice. It's either inspired by that shirt, which I'm aware of, and Mark Mulcaster mentioned it when we recorded Making Tracks earlier, that very shirt. So it's out there. And obviously any skyline looks like clip art. So, it's just one of those, isn't it? But I think it's beautifully done. I love the colours. It'll look great if that's on a T-shirt or that's on, your entry badges or the shirt. It'll look great. So, yeah, nice work.
Yeah.
And every time they do something different, that's the thing.
Here's my take, and it's probably not be popular amongst some people, but if you're making art, putting on a T-shirt and selling that T-shirt without a license, I haven't got much to complain about when the licensee turns around and takes inspiration from that art to make something official.
Oh, completely.
Fair point. Yeah.
No, I get that. I'm not complaining on that point. I'm just pointing out that it is very much a piece of recent fan art that has been converted, and it's inspired and done well.
Jack he's going to be at Celebration and looking to meet us as well. So we'll look forward to meeting you. We'll have a presence at the show that can't officially say what that presence may be yet. We're kind of working on it, and we'll have to wait for approval for the various ideas from Reed.
We'll be there.
But we'll be there in some element. If not, in a bar.
Yeah. Proper in the bar and waiting for the fans to send the pictures from inside.
No doubt about that. Yeah.
There's all I can tell you, because I've been at MCM this weekend, the internet and Wi-Fi there is pointless. You may as well have 2 string piece of string with 2 cups on the ends to communicate between. It was that bad.
There you go. A lot of building work going on at the Excel as well, which doesn't help things, I imagine.
Didn't notice it.
Here we go. We're going to broadcast this. Just get drinks on Jack. That's now official. It's there.
I'm so glad you put that on, Bri. Yeah.
Anyone else watching as well? Jack's buying you a drink too.
Yeah.
Even you watch it in a month.
Yeah. Next news. This is a complicated title, so let me go for it. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga Galactic Edition. It's now coming out on the 1st of November, which is basically the Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga with extra bits added.
Yes.
We've got a trailer, so I can actually show the trailer right now, I believe. Can I? I think so. I hope this is the right video. It's got a very strange name, but we're going to run it. Oh, it is. It's good. I'm safe.
Oh, that's a relief. Wow.
that was a risk there. But beautiful trailer. Lego Star Wars stuff's always great, and it's been a highly popular game. Yeah.
All I want to do is play as Peli Motto. I'm sorted. Oh, and Andor. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's got pretty much everything bang up to date, isn't it?
It really is. They did a good job. The lighting on these, I think, is what really makes it work so well. The lighting is fantastic for what it is.
I wonder if they play one of those dogs, Brian, and then go and piss on all the droids.
that would be the dream, Matt. That would be the dream.
Hey, why is Cobb Vanth?
This is very up to date, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is right up to date. Oh, that's the soul. Yeah, that's really up to date, isn't it?
Yeah. Summer vacation,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything that's been released up until the 1st of November this year.
So is there new levels or just new character packs and other stuff?
Character packs, locations, more characters. There it says it itself.
Oh, God.
Drawn from the First Order. Kind of look like that.
Yeah.
The shock trooper there.
Characters going wherever they want to, I think. Kingdom. It's sort of characters going where they want. So I don't think it's thrown in with First Order. I don't think that ties in at all, does it?
No, but they've done it so well. With these characters, it's it's open world, isn't it? They can go anywhere. They can mix with anyone. It doesn't matter. It's just so charming the way they've done it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, 13 character packs basically. So it's the original game.
Yeah,
13 character packs added on top, which is quite nice. I don't like the whole DLC on games now, where you kind of got to keep buying to keep going.
No.
And I haven't actually really played it beyond a couple of times, the original game, but I'll probably end up picking up this just for the extra characters. And
I liked it on the original Xbox or Wii, where you just played through it and you unlocked everything that was in it. And they were already loaded in.
Yeah.
You just keep adding more and more and more money. That's where games have gone nowadays.
Yeah.
You've got to buy content.
In many ways, games are now more profitable for businesses than the movie industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And less of a risk, I would imagine.
Yeah. And as you see with the volume, it's like the way that they make games is now evolving into a film, because it is basically Ubisoft's game engine, I think, that runs the volume. I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So
it's
two worlds colliding a little bit.
Yeah.
Next up, Lucasfilms Bring Home the Galaxy Week 2. This is the 9-week Star Wars holiday campaign running up to Christmas. I don't know what I think of this yet. Not been blown away by anything so far, but we'll have a look at what's come out this week, which Mark, you've kindly put up on the site on fanthatracks.com for us. Family pajamas.
Family pajamas, or as we call them, Fantha pajamas. I don't know why we're not all wearing them.
We should be, shouldn't we?
Really should.
Have to get some made.
Next week. And other clothing items, none of it's just doesn't feel special to me.
I want the wig bottom left.
Yeah.
That's not a catalogue pose.
I know. And a whole selection of shoes, as always.
Yeah.
Jewellery.
Yeah.
Whole host of toys and models, which I get the Christmassy ones. Okay, get that.
Is that new
nice
Disney
Hallmark bits?
Yeah. Black Series Luke Skywalker Force FX Elite lightsaber.
Yeah.
That is lovely. A lot of people were talking about that in the week. That really caught attention.
Yeah, and Star Wars lightsaber forge.
But this was announced ages ago.
Yeah,
That saber was announced months ago.
a lot of this stuff is kind of repeat, and they're just re-promoting it for the holiday season, I think.
Right.
Whole stack
So
of various.
Luke's gift guide then.
Yeah, basically a whole list of new lightsabers. Can't do anything without some pops.
Yeah. I mean, the crystal
Yeah.
ones are already. The Vader down. The Mattel Vader's really nice. I saw that in Disney Store the other week when I went for the Andor premiere. And the LRS Maddock we had announced last week from Diamond, I think.
Yeah.
And the Funko Pops are cool, but the Darth Vader one that we found on a Tesco store display, he's already got one.
Yeah, so I got one of those. They're very cool, aren't they? Little lightsaber lights up and...
Yeah.
Does it?
But those Funko Pops, they've not announced the Vader yet, because there's a Vader that's a comic cover holding a Luke and a Chewie figure.
I'm putting it back on the camera. I've had this for months and never knew that the lightsaber lit up.
There you go.
But you just cuddled up with him and your other teddy bear, you Ryan.
That's it. That and the other bear.
The other bear.
The other bear.
We know what bear.
This is the way. Baby Grogu. Baby Grogu dish, I guess that is in the bottom right.
No, it's
The bottom right, no, it's for a
it's for the
what's it called?
Alexa.
Amazon. It's an Alexa holder. Yeah.
Well, I said, yeah.
So if you've got that, do you have to speak to it in like a Yoda voice?
You have to speak to it. Yeah.
And that
Literally
was
carved Grogu's head out to put that into it. It's bizarre, isn't it?
yeah. That was it in terms of products this week. Which Luke Skywalker Saber probably the highlight out of that. But other than that, anything not really to blow you away.
Nothing crazy. Like you say, it doesn't feel like it's attached to anything. Andor's too adult to do, like the Obi-Wan Wednesday or stuff like that, which is a shame because I'm sure they could pick out and make some quite clever stuff, but it doesn't feel like the most merchandisable of shows. So it's a bit more generic. It's a bit broader, isn't it, this time?
In the Hasbro panel yesterday, they did say that the Mandalorian is far more toyetic than Andor is.
Oh yeah,
it's very true. There are some good characters in the show, but it's a lot of people wearing a lot of brown jackets. So it's not much. There's not so much stuff you can make toys of. I was quite amazed there isn't more B2 stuff, but we spoke with somebody else, didn't we, Mark, at New York? And I can't remember which a manufacturer had said, "Oh, we want to do some B2 stuff," and then you're like, "Oh, nobody's gonna care about that." And it's like, well, they do because he's cool, but Lucasfilm PR didn't push B2 either, so I don't think they pushed Andor for merchandising at all. Even though it's the most expensive show to make, which is like, well, try and rent it and get some merch out of it.
Yeah. Kingdom of Weird on YouTube there mentioned the MCM announcements for the vintage collection have been pleasing. All that's up on Fantha Tracks social media, at Fantha Tracks on Instagram or Facebook.
I've got a bit more to upload, including some more pictures of the Biker Scout and Speeder Bike, which is wonderful. And
that Biker Scout's amazing. Yeah.
It's a reissue figure with a new helmet and an even more correct helmet. It's like every time they do a new helmet on a Stormtrooper or a Biker Scout, it's the most accurate one ever. So, yeah, okay, get on with it. Just why is it more accurate than the previous one? Why wasn't the last one perfect? Yeah. But yeah, so Biker Scout's got a new head, a new rocker ankles, and then the bike is really, really nice.
So they've got a lot announced already, Hasbro, in terms of in the pipeline. If there's one thing out of everything they've got announced, is there one thing that you guys are looking forward to more than any?
A speeder bike for me. Just love the old toy.
Yeah. And the speeder bike and Mara Jade. I think Mara Jade in that box looked really good, so quite like that.
Yeah.
And Akbar, I've got to say the Akbar was fun as well.
Did you order yours?
Not yet. I've not ordered anything for ages. I need to catch up a little bit. I'm a bit behind with stuff, but yeah, I would like to. Yes.
You can only order it if you were at the convention and you scanned the barcode that was exclusive and got a code and downloaded the code and went to the website and ordered it from the website from the code on the barcode. Or if you looked on Fantha Tracks social media and I posted a link anyway. But you couldn't find it by looking on there.
Thank you, Matt.
Jack's after the Old Republic stuff.
Yeah, both very nice. The Darth Malak is exquisite. Ever such a nice sculpt on that. I've got some good head shots of the head and stuff, and the side of the head's all got mushed up head and everything. It's very, very nice.
The thing with the Old Republic stuff is it's got such a huge fan base out there, and it just feels like it's a whole thing that needs capitalized in a better way than they are just now. Whether that's animation, live action TV, or film, it kind of lends itself to all those kind of mediums.
It does. It's funny you mentioned that. I've not posted anything Old Republic related on the site for ages, just because there hasn't been much news, and because it's Halloween, they've put a new Bomar Monk into the cartel, sort of the marketplace on Old Republic, which is free to play now. But you're absolutely right. It's designed to have that cinematic feel. They did those awesome trailers like 10 years ago. Totally should be doing more with it. Totally agree.
Thanks, Jack.
And the thing about it as well, it's you can consider it just an era. You don't need to pick the characters that have been there before, the storylines that have been before. It's just an era where you could have a lot of fun. And you know, it's almost like what would Game of Thrones be like if you added the Star Wars element to it? It's that kind of feel that you could do, and you could do something pretty special with it.
Agreed.
I'm sure they took the basic plot of the original game and turned it into just a film. It'd be great. Kingdom of Weird, yes, I did, and for the first time in my 15 plus years of taking pictures of Hasbro toys at convention and at toy fairs and events, they finally put some gaffer tape across the back of the packaging so we couldn't see what the new figures were on the back. Many a time have I gone to Hasbro and go, "Come look at the back of that card," and they go, "Oh," whoever's on the booth goes, "Hand it down, take it to me so I can take photos of it." I turn it and go, "Oh, look, there's 3 more figures." Oh yeah, I don't want to see that. And we never post them, but they have many a times over the year forgot to cover over the back of the card and go, "Oh yeah, you don't want to see that." So yes, they finally worked out to cover it up, which I found very amusing. Because somebody was like, "Why is there sticky tape on the back of there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's got a secret that's under it." So yes, I did look Kingdom of Weird. I know where to look for these things. It's not my first rodeo. Ooh, blimey. Hey!
It's Halloween. They will appear at random. Cast your minds back 5 years, guys, and the birth of Fantha Tracks. Can you remember what the first article on the site was?
Oh my goodness. No, I cannot. It's probably something really mundane.
We didn't do like a launch article or anything like that. We got straight into the news. And weirdly, we started posting news 3 weeks before we launched.
3 weeks before, yeah.
I think it was on the second day the site was built. Right at the beginning of October, day 2, and we started adding content, because regardless how the site ends up looking at ending, you can add content and it'll adapt and change as you go. And we thought we want to launch with a whole stack of news. So I looked back to see what it was. First article, 11th of October, so 20 days before we launched. It was 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks today. Date of birth for the 501st, 11th to the 17th of October 2017. That was the first article.
Wow. Well, I couldn't have told you that. I feel like I should know that, but I couldn't have told you that. Wow. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
How many articles have you written since then, Mark?
Me? Oh, blimey, about 10,500, something like that, something daft like that.
Yeah. I think we're at 15,300 articles, news articles on the website.
Yeah.
6,500 podcast posts into the podcast database as well.
Wow.
So over 21,000 posts in 5 years.
Yeah,
that's not bad, is it?
I've done just over 1,500 Instagram posts with a little help from Claire and Paul. Yeah.
And that's why at the end of the day you need a drink.
Or 3.
That where's that? Is that Burnley? Is that the Holiday Inn at Burnley? Is it?
That is the Holiday
Inn.
Blackburn.
Was that Blackburn? Was it? Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
Yeah. Happy days. Nice beer.
Days. Do you want to talk about
reasonable company, good convention?
Do you want to talk about the lie we told on the press release when we launched Fantha Tracks?
Which one? Because I can think of a few.
Can you? It was the last line that we said that we'd let the readers pick the name for the Fantha.
And they never have.
Never have. I completely forgot about that. Oh no! Oh no! We've broke our promise. Delete the site, Brian.
Are we going to name the Fantha, or are we still going with George?
George
the Fantha. We're going to make that official for the 5 years. We're just going to call him George.
We should, shouldn't we? Really?
Finally get around to naming him.
Yeah.
If you're in the comments, give us a thumbs up if you agree with George. If we get 2, that's us done.
That was like my favourite bit about that sort of time in October, that we were building everything and started building it, but didn't have a logo or anything. And was watching Paul Bateman create it live, because we
did a live video with him like this, didn't we? And watching him create it.
Facebook Messenger video call, I think it was, and he just created it there live, and brilliant. It was just great to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as he was doing it, he was talking all the way through it, wasn't he? He was just sort of chatting ideas and just watching him come up with things. Well, what does he need? Does he want a lightsaber? Yeah, but make it a toy lightsaber. Oh, does he want a bag? Yeah, put the Celebration logo on the bag. You know, just talking it through was fantastic.
Yeah. If you want some shoes? Yeah, they got a pair of Pozu shoes. Brilliant. Yeah, that'll do. Great. Cheers, Paul.
That's it.
Great art and served us well.
Yes.
So the goal when we started Fantha Tracks, have we achieved what we set out?
Well, that's a question. I think we're well on our way. It's the best thing I've ever been involved with in terms of fandom. I'm thrilled with what we've done. I know, as we mentioned, the pandemic put a bit of a mocker on things for a couple of years, but it did that to life in general, so that can't be helped. But I think, for what we've done so far, considering the places we've been, we've only done, what have we done? 2 celebrations. We've got a third one coming up. Feels like we should have done more than 2 celebrations in 5 years, doesn't it? We've done a few New Yorks, and we've done plenty of Blackburns and Burnies with Fan Fun Day. We get down to MCMs, and we certainly put the miles in LFCCs. Yeah, we've done the Stole Zone there a few times, and we certainly put the miles in. But yeah,
you mentioned locations. Here's a couple.
Ooh.
Saw this last week on Under.
Fantha's by the Seaside.
Yeah, Cleverly, where they filmed
Cleverly's, yeah, brilliant.
Cleverly's, where they filmed episode 7 of Under by the beach.
Yeah. They filmed there for over a week. I think they did. They were there for about a week and a half, and I know at least they did 3, if not 4 days of filming.
Yeah,
and it literally became about 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes for an episode.
You can see just in the very distance, just above our heads there, the actual cafe that was kind of the backdrop to a lot of it, and obviously they were on the steps and so on.
And where we're looking towards is down towards Blackpool, and down in that direction is the weird sea defence stone architecture they built where Cassian was walking along. One of our very own Fantha's mum was in the episode. Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
That's right.
Another location you guys went to over in California?
I went. Mark ducked out and went to Disney to a fake location, and I went to a real location. So I went with Mark Austin and a few of the other guys, our friends over at Skywalker Netherlands, did a really good video on this filming location where Andor was shot, where we first met Boba Fett returning. So I was very happy to go there.
And what else have we got? Always on the travel, looking for news.
Recreating the vintage hiding behind Big Kev photo.
Yes. That was a brilliant moment in the foyer of that hotel when Kev turned up. Carl's there. It was Carl's first international celebration. He was absolutely shattered, but Kev, bless him, he got really choked up, didn't he? It was a really sweet moment.
Yeah, he flew in from Hawaii for the show, didn't he?
Yeah, his arms must have been absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
Something I reckon has happened since we launched. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have come along and become obsessed by Banthas. I like to take credit for that.
Yeah, I think
you should.
So I think this was Star Wars Celebration, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Mandalorian experience, and the Fanthas met the Bantha. We were very happy. She had a very good chat with us. And she did respond when we asked her, does she follow Fantha Tracks? And she says she does.
Excellent. That's what we like.
And I just to say, I actually interviewed the lady that was operating that at LFCC.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. Yeah. That was something else. I think we've been to some great places. I know we're going to see some more a classic Empire Strikes Back location in a bit, but being there, just looking down that view, quite apart from the natural beauty of the place, was just mind blowing. To be there and wearing the shirt I was wearing as well was kind of cool. It was something else. That was a really special couple of days. That was.
And the hills on the other side are 25 miles away from it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's 3 Fanthas there.
Yeah, Mark Mulcaster in the fit outfit.
Yeah, and then you and me and the legend that is Details, an absolute grade A superstar of a guy.
So that was MCM
last year,
London last year.
So that was the first convention, I think, for a lot of people after the pandemic.
Yes. Yeah. Very well spaced out. Much busier this weekend, but this last year's was very well spaced out, and this year's was quite well spaced out in most places, except the central corridor of the venue just doesn't hold the capacity of people as it was never has done. But yeah,
I look at that photo and I kind of feel like I've been photoshopped in because it's like there's a very straight angle to my arm and face there. I don't know, it feels a bit odd.
My Photoshop skills are not that good, Brian.
Yeah. Definitely not photoshopped here.
Nope.
Before the pandemic, we had Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019, and that was probably the biggest gathering we've had of team members, I think.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much, I can't think of anybody who's not there. That was the whole complement back then. Obviously, we had the booth, which you can see behind us. That lovely lady, we saw again in Anaheim this year, was walking along with her Bantha. So we got another Bantha photograph, which of course we've got to do, haven't we?
So
good compliment.
You can't think who's not there, Mark, is your co-host of Making Tracks.
Well, there is that. And let me think now. Was he? No, he wasn't a Fantha then. He wasn't quite a Fantha then. He was on the cusp.
On the cusp. You've got to earn.
Yeah.
You've got to earn your Fantha crust.
Yeah. Got to suffer for your art.
Yeah.
Big event for yourself.
It was. Matt took that picture, and I'm glad he did, mate, because I probably wouldn't have got a snap of that. Yeah, I was the stage host for the podcast stage in 2019. I've done it in 2016. I did it again last year, this year rather. But that was a bit special. It was nice to be involved with that. And also, the podcast stage, just as an aside, didn't have a logo, and I helped organise getting a logo for the podcast stage, which was designed by Corey Clubb of Coffee with Kenobi. We had a little within the team, all the pods put a design in, and Corey's was chosen, which was very cool. So it's nice to be involved with that. It was a good bit of fun.
And Dave Prowse's final convention 2018 as well. Quite a few of the Fanthas were able to get to that.
Yeah, I mean, all of us have seen Dave or had seen Dave at various events. It didn't seem that long before that we saw him. Thank you, Jack. It didn't seem that long since we'd seen him at Burnley. We all saw him at breakfast at the Holiday Inn that one time. But nevertheless, this was his last show. And Jason Joyner, who's been very helpful to us over the years, got me and Carl and Paul in and Richard as well to have a photograph with him, which was obviously, given that he's now passed away, was quite special.
Anakin Crespin just asking there if we were at London Comic Con this past weekend. Yes, we are. You can check out all the coverage on Fantha Tracks social media at Fantha Tracks. Lots of coverage of the products from
I was there,
Hasbro.
as was Richard on the right hand side was there, and Mulcast was there. 3 of us turned up to the show this weekend and covered it.
And we'll have videos and so on, audio from it on Fantha Tracks TV and Fantha Tracks Radio in the coming days and weeks as well.
Yep.
Still on 2018, Mark, The Last Jedi director in the Jedi screening, where you met one of my arch enemies, BB-8.
Yeah, that was so cool. And I picked that because I know recently, and it's on our new flyers, Matt and was it Claire? Was Claire there with you? Were you met
Mark
B2? Yeah. So it was nice when I got. That's it. It was nice that I got a chance to meet BB-8 back in the day, especially because we know a lot of the guys that operate BB-8 and have built him and become friends with some of the guys behind it. So yeah, that was a nice little moment.
Where's my clicker? I've laid it down and lost it. There we go. Our first honorary Fantha Tracks team member, Kathleen Kennedy, who we met at Celebration Chicago 2019, and she got our Fantha Tracks shirt there with Dave Tree, who was with us at the start. He was involved in setting up the Fantha Tracks Fun Day, and Martin Keeler, who built up the YouTube channel for us with lots of Hasbro content, interviews, and so on as well.
Yeah, that was a day and a half, wasn't it? Meeting her.
Yeah. Gave her a shirt, made her an honorary member. Has she written an article yet, Mark?
No, and I can't explain the correspondence situation, but I do express my regret and disappointment that we've not yet had an article, or indeed when she picks up honorary Oscars, we don't get a thank you. I'm a bit baffled by it all, to be honest. But yeah, at the moment she is our only honorary Fantha. Hopefully that will change by the next celebration and we'll start inducting more people. But yes, she currently, I like to think she wears it to bed every night. She does have a very quite smart black Fantha Tracks shirt, a bit like mine. But yeah, disappointed there's not been any content from her.
Has she noticed yet that when she wears it to bed, has Frank or anybody else pointed out to her in the household that it's got Constable Zuvio on her shirt?
Coming soon to Disney Plus, yes.
Is that Easter egg just passed her by?
I ruined the photo there by wearing my white shirt that day. What was I thinking?
You played it well.
Casting arrived back right to the very start of Fantha Tracks Radio. We mentioned that. Mark, you've made a heck of a lot of podcasts in that time. The very first episode for Fantha Tracks Radio, Making Tracks, was an interview with one Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, we got really lucky. I could talk about this meeting for half an hour, but just to give you the cliff notes, they did a celebrity screening in Nuneaton, which is where Gareth's from, of Rogue One. We got tickets. I'd met him before at the Force Awakens after party, so he kind of recognised me. But when we were there, he was accosted. That's not the right word, but old mates of his from college were sort of cornering him to talk about the old days. And Claire, being Claire, just pretty much grabbed hold of him and said, "Would you like to do an interview with Fantha Tracks?" "Oh, yes, I would. Where should we go?" And he took us upstairs to this quiet room, and we had a good half an hour up there, just all the guys, all of us throwing questions at him, which, as you say, was the first 2 episodes of Making Tracks. So, yeah, good times.
I was chatting with somebody yesterday who's worked on the new Gareth Edwards thing he's directed. The can't remember his name now. The Hard Man from TV shows and stuff. He's done a thing in Swansea that Gareth directed. Not that one.
Ross Kemp?
No, the new Tom Hardy show that Gareth directed.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's well, I'm sure we'll be all over it when it comes out. I'm sure.
Television or film?
No, Gareth produced it. That was it.
Right.
TV series for
Monsters,
Netflix, I think.
No,
TV series for Netflix that Gareth produced with Tom Hardy in it. Filmed in Swansea. They filmed it last year.
I'm googling.
Yeah, Gareth produced it anyway. Yeah, that's what I was told last night. But I might have had a couple of pints by then.
I'm just going to say before you change pictures, Brian, looking at those, the lovely brown hair of poor Naylor and the lovely sort of browny blondie hair of Carl Bayliss that are both now like silverback gorillas, makes me happy that I've just got a little peppery dash. So I'm doing okay.
You're doing all right.
You say that, but you haven't seen what the next photo is. Mr. Nimble's legs.
Oh my God.
Those pasty white legs.
I'm recreating the Endor Forest with those tree trunks. I really am.
Yeah, I know.
That was fun. That was Alan Fernandez from A New Hope, who's one of the Tusken Raider riders. And I don't think he'd done, if I remember, it was either one of his very first, if not his first interview. And we spoke for about 20 minutes. It's on an old episode of Making Tracks. go back and listen to. But he was a lovely fella and had loads of stories. Really surprised that he didn't or hasn't been out there more often, because he certainly had a story to tell.
Is he the guy who's worked with Spina on the Tuscan helmet?
Yes, Tom mentioned him in conversation. Yeah, he's had some involvement somewhere down the line with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dak himself, John Morton.
Yeah. Was that our first convention we did together, I think?
Yeah.
I think as a team it was, yeah.
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 No shirts.
Yeah, and you can just see Angus McInnes just behind John there. Yeah.
Cold
yeah, that was early days, wasn't it? Blimey, before the shirts. Wow, that is really early.
And more recent, MCM, London Comic Con 2021.
That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good day. That was a good day. Good to be back out.
And
that was a good convention.
Coventry. Got the shades really on.
Enjoyed. Shades?
Shades.
Yeah. That was a really
that's true.
Brilliant venue as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Kevin Scott and George Mann were the big Star Wars guests at that one, both very chatty. And Kieran Gillen was there as well. For what was essentially quite a small physical show, it was some cracking guests there, and we made a good day of that.
Plenty of troopers there. Got some good interviews, got some good coverage and footage. Yeah, a bit different. Open air kind of event, wasn't it? But really nice.
It was. It was nice. It was very cool.
I think this was our first international convention, New York 2018.
That was, yeah. We've been going about a year when that happened.
Star Wars Resistance premiered during New York Comic Con. We watched it, apart from me, who fell asleep.
Yeah.
And
you let Taylor Gray know about it as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Matt then
no, Christopher Sean. I let Christopher Sean know. He literally messaged me earlier as well. Yeah, because he's not in the Batman video game, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been a very busy actor ever since doing that show as well. He's done loads of different things. And we met him at Celebration about a couple of years later, didn't we? His first ever convention he ever did for Star Wars. And the night before he did his first date appearing there, he came and sat and had pizza with us. It was very bizarre.
That's right.
Yeah.
Return of the Garrison 2019.
Yeah.
Now, before Matt says anything, my favourite moment of this whole day wasn't that photograph, weirdly, which was fantastic, because look who's on there: Andy Seacombe and Dan Logan and Warwick, of course, and then all of us Fanthas. No, that was the day that Matt got inducted into the Mando Mercs, and he was literally speechless. So it was worth all the effort just to see Matt speechless, because that never happens.
Yeah, my son's there in the trooper outfit, and Carl's daughter and Claire's daughter, I think. Is that right?
Yep.
I think so, yeah. We had a really good day. Lovely event.
Another important thing about being a part of Fantha Tracks, the food. This was also
very important.
The very first event attended by Fantha Tracks was Rancho Obi-Wan's 2017 gala.
Yeah.
Mark, you went there yourself. We abandoned you that year, and you went to face the public.
Questionnaires.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one, because obviously we were all part of Jedi News, and we decided to do something new and set up Fantha Tracks. And that was within a week of Fantha launching. I was going out to Rancho and very much wanted to be there to meet everyone and see everyone and support Steve and Anne and all the guys, but also to let people know that, we're doing this new venture and this is what we're about. And, for my part, I've not just given up Star Wars and I'm walking away. It's not, actually, we're going to do something different and something new. So it was quite important for me at that time to be there. Sadly, that was the last gala that I got to, because 2018 I was working in London, I think, on a Star Trek event, so I couldn't make it. And they didn't hold an event in 2019 because they had a year off, and then we've had the pandemic. So there's not been a gala since 2018. But still, that was quite an important one, I think, for us just to put our name out there as much as anything else.
We'll get back out there.
We will.
The solo press screen in Leicester Square 2018. I can't remember getting a photo
really
taken with a Wookiee. I really can't remember this photo full stop.
A Wookiee made by Robot and Tom Spina, wasn't it? Well, no, not really.
Yeah.
Tom Spina has made those.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very cool. Good to see it.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And
really
I just remember us all going out, all of us going outside into Leicester Square and all jumping up and down with excitement because it was such a damn good film.
Yeah.
There was a photo again from 2019. Mr. Newbold announced as one of the stage hosts for Celebration.
Yeah, that was cool. It's nice to get a picture out there, and I like that shirt, so I was quite pleased with that. And just to say that drink thing I've got there, you'll know this, Brian. Cody Rhodes, the wrestler. I got into a bit of a Twitter conversation with him, and he said when you go to Galaxy's Edge, order a Rancor Flight beer. So I ordered a Rancor Flight beer, not knowing what a Rancor Flight beer was, thinking it was just a beer. And then at the end of the 45 minutes they give you, they come along with a box and they give me the bill, and it was $90 for that thing, their Rancor teeth. And I couldn't say no, could I? So I had to buy one. I did thank Cody for that later. So hey ho, but yeah, it's in the collection now. But it was that's a good day and a good memory. It was always cool being involved at Celebration.
$90, you should be using that every day for breakfast.
If
think
people that aren't wrestling fans don't know Cody, he's also a huge theme park enthusiast. Will fill you in on all the things to do at various theme parks around the world. More recent event we'll attend is Star Wars Fan Fun Day. We try and get to this most years if we can. This was the first one in Blackburn, and ironically, it's the same background as I use.
It is, isn't it?
Oh yeah!
Wow, that was a good day. It was a good show. They've been in Burnley for all those years, and it's been a happy hunting ground for us with prior sites and with Fantha Tracks. We've always got good interviews and had a great time. Neil and Paul put on a great show with the team, and this time they've moved to Burn. Every bit as good. Fantastic dinner with the stars is brilliant. We had a great night there with Nick Kellington on our table and just had a great time. And again, you can see a happy bunch of Fanthas there. It was good photograph.
Nick, of course, was Tinky Winky and Iggle Piggle. If you're watching this and you're not a Star Wars fan, just for the wider audience.
Yeah. Oh, us at the table with children were texting our kids going, I'm getting drunk with Iggle Piggle. And our kids were going, hey, you're not, Dad. And what? Oh, yeah, we are.
Here we are.
Teletubbies are making a comeback, I believe.
He's done a new series of it. And he said it's really, really good.
Yeah. So's Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
No, just leave it alone.
Leave
that alone.
Taylor Gray, MCM Birmingham 2019. Taylor Gray was a huge influence in the start-up of Fantha Tracks.
On.
that was a good day. We had a nice chat with him. Again, that's on an episode of Making Tracks, and as you can see, there was a whole bunch of us there, which is always nice to get a gaggle of Fanthas together. But he was wonderful. It was easy to talk to. Like you say, we'd met him at Fan Fun Day as well back in the day. Taylor Swift. But it was good meeting and a good interview there.
You interviewed him, and then afterwards I interviewed Steve Blum, didn't I?
That's right. Yeah.
Really good.
Rise of Skywalker Blue Carpet 2019 event you guys went to.
Brilliant. Really good event. Got lots of good interviews. Saw lots of the cast. All the people on the carpet were brilliant. Saw loads of people trooping. Saw Samantha trooping for the second time I've seen her troop.
That's right.
So that was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
it would have been cool. It would have been cooler if Extinction Rebellion hadn't glued themselves to the carpet in front of us. We might have got a few more interviews, but
don't talk that. You just give them more promotion.
I've never been to a Star Wars premiere, so it's now potentially something I'm going to do at the next one. Just glue myself to the carpet. One of the highlights, I think, of the things we've done since Fantha Tracks launched was visiting Hoth, Finns, Norway. We all headed out. Really no idea what we're getting ourselves into, did we?
God,
absolutely no idea.
Middle of nowhere.
Norway, got a train to middle of nowhere. Literally the middle of nowhere, end of the line. Step off the train, there's a blizzard, you can't see a yard in front of your face. Even though the
No,
hotel's
the
like
bed
5 yards
in
away,
front
you
of
had no idea.
And then
And
the
it was
bench
That
in front
was-
of the, it's our mate Jawa James who gets up and goes, "All right, lads," and we're like, "You're right, James." And he'd flown in from San Diego from it, hadn't he?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole thing getting off the train was insane because, like Brian says, it was a whiteout. It was
Yeah.
we couldn't see anything. It was hilarious. And there's the train. You can see it there. There's the train track, and there's the hotel. It was closer
Yeah.
than that. It was just
Yeah.
that was nuts.
Was that Alan Thompson and Jawa James and the rest of us there? And
Yeah.
Gonzalo
Yep.
Yeah.
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 on the far left from Portugal. Really good event.
I
Yeah.
arrived first and welcomed you guys.
Yeah, you flew from Scotland to Bergen,
Yeah.
and then we flew from
Every-
Heathrow to Bergen.
Every time, me and Matt say this, every time we arrive
Yeah.
at an airport, we're looking around for you, Brian, waiting for the
Yeah.
the
There's
pickup,
all
the
the other
Fantha
cabins
Tracks.
waiting.
I think there was
Right.
something
Yeah.
else. There was something else written on that iPad before that, but was probably considered funny in 2018, but not in 2022. Right, let's see. I think I've got a video here. Let's see if it plays. We're going to try this and see if it works. Here we go. It was Mr. Newbold and myself. We were back in the back of a sled, having fallen off our huskies.
Yeah, you fell off your huskies. I was fine.
So this is basically the ice plains of Hoth that we're travelling on back towards the hotel, having been rescued.
No creatures.
So,
Nothing
what's
grows
going
there.
down on the huskies or going down on the back of the ski sled?
The Huskies was fun.
Crazy.
Falling off the Huskies wasn't so much fun.
No, it wasn't.
But this is good.
That was the organiser there, the whole trip, just on the left. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
just heading back towards the hotel. You can kind of see the hotel in the distance. That
Yeah.
are not trees, that's sticks marking where it's safe to travel on, so you don't go onto the thin ice. Never really told us that before we went out on the Huskies.
No.
Basically, it was a case of that's how you start, that's how you stop. And
Yeah.
the Huskies just went. They obviously,
And all of that's
Knew
flat.
where
You
to
can
go.
see a frozen lake, isn't it?
yeah.
Yes.
So if the Huskies chose to go left of that stick out in the middle of the lake, I had no idea what I was doing to get back.
There is a really great video. I think Martin edited it and put it onto Fantha TV of the weekend. That's it's available on our YouTube channel. But that whole trip was just from top to bottom, just incredible. Even like when we got on the train at Bergen and just went up and out within an hour, it was just 10-foot deep snow, no cars. It was just amazing. I'll do that again in a heartbeat.
I think they were mad going that far to film it back then. But yeah. But the guys who spoke at the convention said the same, didn't they? They said they're crazy filming it somewhere there, but they did.
Yeah.
New York 2018 again, Mercedes KV, we all know from The Mandalorian. And I was there and helping run the autograph stand for her. Her and some of the other WWE people that were there.
That is a good photograph. That was your famous moment, wasn't it, Brian?
I had an incident with Mark Ruffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah.
my very, very good
positive
friend,
one.
Mark Ruffalo, who I
Yeah.
assisted in getting his daughter to have a photograph with Mercedes. She's obviously a big WWE fan.
Yes.
We also visited Tops, which I really thought was one of the great experiences from that trip as well, just getting to see around their offices and what they do. Mark van der Willen was the PR guy for Tops at the time, and we did some unboxings there. Something else that's up on Fantha Tracks TV that Martin pulled together as well.
Yeah, that's a great trip. Mark's been a brilliant friend of Fantha. He's, when he was at Tops, like you say, now he's at Dinner Nova. We got some cracking footage from New York Comic Con with him recently that's up on the site. But he's always been so accommodating and helpful to us. We think a lot of him and he thinks a lot of us, I think. And that, like you say, was an amazing trip to go to Tops. I've been fortunate enough in the past to go to Del Rey. The trio for me would be to go to Marvel, but I don't suppose that's on the cards anymore. But hey ho. But yeah, it was
Marvel. I did DC years ago when they were in New York, but I've never done Marvel.
Yeah. But that was a brilliant day. And we did it a couple of times, didn't we, Tops? It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Guy Henry can't do a Fantha Tracks reflection in the past 5 years without Guy Henry and a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest nights ever. It really was.
Yeah.
I've been lucky. I've interviewed him a few times. I've actually got an interview with him coming up in the next issue of The Insider that I did. Oh, blimey, Doncaster Unleashed, I think, last year.
Yeah.
But fascinating fella, always good fun. But yeah, when we got back to the Holiday Inn and he was at the door with the pizza and the red wine, that was a fantastic.
Dave and I turned up with the pizza because we drove in late. We finished work that day and then drove up. And you guys were already there. So Dave and I arrived. You also having a nice Ponzi meal and stuff. So Dave and I, we need some food. So we went and got pizza. And we came into the hotel with 2 pizzas. And Guy just went, well, I'm going to slice of that then. He was drunk enough that he just nabbed one of our bits of pizza. And we're like, that's my dinner. You just had meal. It was lovely though. We just sat down with him and his agent, Julian, and just chatted all night long, didn't we?
Yeah. Easy company. Just good fun. And that's another reason why Star Wars Fan Fun Day is one of the best shows out there, because you get moments like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Next one. Don't know what event this is. It could be any event because it's Mark Milcaster not in uniform.
That's
LFCC, I think.
No, we went for food after a film premiere.
Ah, that's probably after Solo then.
I think that might be after Solo. Because, that's after Solo, because I took you to Oaxaca. And we had really good food. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's always, like I say, it's always nice catching up with the Rebel Legion guys, the 501st guys, any of the costume guys. Always good fun. And see Claire's there and Paul McHugh at the back there as well, opposite Brian. So, that was a lovely meal.
We'll make a promise and a commitment now. If you see Mr. Milcaster at a Fantha event in 2023, he'll be in a Fantha shirt. That's the one promise we can make, isn't it?
We're just going to chop up one of old Newbolds and just white out the bit that says Newbold on it. Give him that. You mentioned it yesterday to Patrick. Patrick's like, you haven't got a shirt. And Mark's like, no, I haven't got a shirt.
Oh, no, it's at that point.
Patrick said he wants a shirt as well. Patrick wants a shirt.
Poor Mark's been on the team that long, but we've never had the ability to order shirts because the whole lockdowns and all that kind of thing. Poor Mark's never had a shirt, so that's priority for the next 5 years. It's number one on top of the list.
That's the best excuse I've heard.
Yeah, that's
we
why
solemnly promised by the 10th anniversary, Mulcast will have a shirt.
Dear. Next up,
that was
Immortal,
great.
Oculus VR experience. I'm the only one without a helmet. I don't know why.
It wasn't not Vader Immortal, it was Secrets of the Empire.
Was it?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vader Immortal
that was fantastic.
Secrets of the Empire was a different storyline. Amazing bit of tech, though.
Yeah, it was good fun.
I think I did it about 6, not 7 times.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky because I was in the very first group of people publicly to do it worldwide. So, and wrote an article for StarWars.com that sadly never got used, slightly frustratingly. So that ended up getting used on Fantha Tracks. But we interviewed the guys from ILMX Lab and some of the team there, Ben Snow, who was involved with it as well. And fantastic. Just so much fun to do that.
Yeah, nothing like that's happening anywhere in the world at all now, though, is it?
No.
Because they did that. They did Ghostbusters one and another one, I think.
That's right. The Avengers one, I think.
Lockdown came down and you don't really want to wear something else somebody else has been wearing after that, do you? Yeah.
Solo screening at Pinewood Studios. That was one of the highlights for me, just because it was kind of odd to be in the screening room at Pinewood to see a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And it was
best quality sound.
Yeah.
And
when you consider the fact that when they're making the film, they're probably looking at the dailies in the same room that we're watching the final filming.
The John Barry Theatre, isn't it? Yeah. Very, very cool. Nice place to see it. Went out for a big Indian meal that night and then all went and watched Solo and all just hung out together.
That's right.
Kathleen
Yeah.
Kennedy watched the cut from the Lego guys and thought, my God, look at this, must sack them in that very room. Potentially, I don't know.
What an interesting thought.
Yeah.
And then I picked the best photo for last, I think. Last Jedi European premiere.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing that photograph.
Certainly wasn't me that took it. I don't know how it ended up in my possession, but I had it.
Oh, wow. I no idea. But I love it. I want a copy of that.
Yeah.
That was the thing I remember about that night, above and beyond anything else,
Cold.
was it was freaking
Cold.
freezing. I've never been so been so cold once before in New York for Toy Fair when it was minus 20. But that was a close second. That was ridiculously cold.
And we got put in the cattle pens, and we weren't allowed to move more than about a foot, one step to the right, and one step to that. But we had the Praetorian guards literally walk up behind us to go on the red carpet, and I'd get the camera up and snapping the hell out of them. And then afterwards, I find out they're the real costumes from the film, and they use them on the red carpet. It was like, oh, that's cool. So I sent the photo straight to Alvin Johnson at the 501st. And here you go, dude. You can use these. These are the best photos you're going to get ever, because it's the costumes they used in the film on the red carpet, and they were right beside us. So yeah, way cool. Really good night. Met loads of really good people. Loads of Fanthas there as well.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went out for a nice meal after with Jason, didn't we?
We did. Where did he take us?
That Lebanese restaurant.
Yeah. Very strange. Amazing food. Yeah. People in the guys.
See, it's all about the food, Brian. It's all about the food.
Right?
You started it, but you're right. It's all about the food.
Everything else falls in place.
Yeah.
And can I just say, we've definitely been getting the food right, because none of our shirts button up anymore. These all buttoned up when we got them. None of them button up now, so we're definitely doing the food properly.
Talking of food, because it's the 5th anniversary, I had to get a cake.
Oh, so really?
I got a Bantha cake.
Oh, wicked!
Is that George the Bantha?
George the Bantha
cake. You best be sending us a slice in a jiffy bag, dude.
No, I would, but it was on sale because it goes out of date tomorrow.
So what? When you go off camera, the entire thing.
What's that?
Is that dinner or is that second dinner?
Second dinners.
11's is
second breakfast.
Yeah. Second breakfast. Feel up.
For what? Winter?
Yeah, keep warm. Can't afford
the
gas and electric. It's just extra layer of fat. It's going to keep me warm through the winter.
You eat George the Bantha cakes, are you, every day of the week? Out of date George the Bantha cakes.
That's what I'm working on. Extra layers of fat. I've got just keep building the layers up.
Fattened up for the credit crisis. Yeah. Brilliant. Full crisis.
Just like a turkeys. Fatten them up for Christmas.
Somebody gonna baste you and cook you at Christmas then, Brian?
Well, that's an offer and a half, Matt. I'll take you up on that. Oh dear. That is the end of my picture showcase of 5 years of Fantha Tracks. Gonna have to end it somewhere before it goes too far wrong.
Yeah, it's been a good 5 years. I think we should do another 5 years.
Do you
really? Oh, I'm in
5 years. Don't have to commit to that at this stage. Go 5 days.
Yeah, well enough as it is.
Go 5 days. It gets us through the next live stream.
That'll do.
That's fair enough. I'll go for that.
Yeah.
Just do a rolling 5-day contract. We'll carry on with that.
If you had to pick a highlight.
Oh, blimey. Highlight would be Fints for me. That's just as a thing that we did. It's so hard to even think of anything that comes close. So for me, it's Fints.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Just such an amazing, exquisite experience. I really like Death Valley.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy doing the Mando stuff. And I did my locations panel at Celebration with a couple of friends. I want to hit more locations and do more of that. And I blame Gus Lopez completely for me wanting to be filming locations. But yeah, Fints are top of it all.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's the kind of thing I want to do more of in the next few years as well. Definitely want to do Tunisia for for one, is
Yes.
a big
Definitely.
big high up on the list for me.
Well, we're going to try one on Wednesday this week, aren't we, Mark? We've got a secret film
Hopefully.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got something we can't talk about on in the morning, and then something we can't talk about on in the afternoon. But in between, we're going to try and hit some
And
locations.
something else we can't talk about in the evening as well.
Very true.
I know.
Yeah.
Star Wars Wednesday for us this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't done one of those in a while.
You won't be able to watch Andor because you're going to be busy working.
True. Very true, yeah.
Never thought of
Yeah,
that,
somebody
did you?
booked it in somewhere in central London for 8 o'clock in the morning. Thanks, Mark.
I'd feel really bad if I hadn't already seen episodes 9 and 10, but as it is,
Have
I
you?
don't. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Terrible. Sorry.
And he's done.
The highlight for me, I guess, if we weren't going for locations, was we've kind of made a sort of history of dropping the production names for all the Star Wars films, and the first time we did that under the Fantha Tracks umbrella, and we started getting coverage from New York Times, BBC, Daily Mail, and so on, and it was maybe the first big story we broke. I think, and then not long after that, we had various news from the film productions. Lando was one that comes to spring to mind. So it's always fun to see the Fantha Tracks name and on the mainstream media, as they like to call themselves.
Yes.
You're not mainstreaming unless you're on fanthatracks.com daily.
Exactly.
Kingdom of Weir's been to Tunisia, much warmer than Hoth.
Tunisia's warm, Death Valley's warmer, I think.
Right, I think that takes us to the end of the show. Anything you guys want to add?
Only that Fantha Tracks Radio, we've got a fingers crossed if everything goes to plan with edits. We have the episode 8 Making Tracks reaction chat coming out hopefully tomorrow, if Mr. Morcaster can turn around the audio quick enough and get it to me so I can edit it. And then on Tuesday, it's 1st of November, but it's 31st tomorrow, which is our 5th anniversary. On Tuesday, it's episode 150 of Making Tracks, studio episode, actually on episode about 240, but in studio episodes, it's episode 150, where we're catching up with all the latest news. And then on Friday, Thursday, it will be your Good Morning Tatooine, Brian, looking at episode 9. And then on Friday, it's the latest episode of Planet Leia. So we've got loads going on Fantha Tracks Radio at the moment.
Here we go. Look, I was ready with the buttons and the graphics. Look at that.
Ooh.
It's like you knew.
I've got a bit more content from MCM to upload because the Wi-Fi there and the data there was dreadful. So I had to wait till I get home. But I was out for a friend of Fantha's birthday last night. So Sam the Stormtrooper she's going to be her birthday on Tuesday. So make sure everybody wishes her happy birthday on her page on Facebook and stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say her age then, dude. I was don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but it was good seeing her for the last couple of weeks in Andor as a trooper. She's back as a trooper again. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think last thing to say is thanks to all the team members, past, present. Thanks to everyone that tunes in, whether it's on podcast videos, reads the website, checks out the social media. Your likes and shares and comments are always appreciated, I think, and it keeps us motivated and going. And we'll keep churning out the news if you guys still want to read it. And when you don't want to read it, we'll probably still keep churning out the news. And I think on that note, I'll be back Thursday for episode 9 of Andor. I think Paul Naylor's joined me. I don't know. I think he is. I'm shouting out his name, so if he's not, maybe he's listening and he's now knows that he is.
Yeah.
And I'll be back next Sunday with all the latest Star Wars news from the week. And what that'll be, we don't know, but it'll be something exciting.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys, and we'll see you all again soon.
Live long and prosper.
Thanks, guys.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at Fantha Tracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Fantha Tracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.